The next tier of teams on the rise, getting better, doing the work in the gym, looking good, looking to take some heads off. Cleveland, Memphis, Minnesota, New Orleans, Toronto, all of these teams make me more excited than Dallas. Isn't that sad? And I love Luka. That is a sexy-ass group. Woo! Woo-wee! Memphis, woo! Minnesota, woo! New Orleans, woo! Toronto, hell yeah! Minnesota, let's talk about them first. Biggest money move of the offseason. Swing for the fences for Rudy Gobert. I think it's a fascinating move. How is it going to work with Karl Anthony Towns? I have no idea. All I know is it means that Karl Anthony Towns isn't going to be a defensive liability, isn't going to be caught on film talking all kinds of trash, and people be like, we in Minnesota now. We in Minnesota now. All I know is that it means that Karl Anthony Towns can lock in, and if anybody needs to shoulder the blame for anything, we already know who it is. It's Rudy. Rudy always shoulders the blame. He's good at that. He's good at being a scapegoat. Hopefully Ant and D'Lo are going to feature him more offensively. Rudy Gobert, I think you can get him a ton of lobs. The question is, are teams going to try to run him off the floor? Try to go small on him like the Clippers did, like Dallas did last year. I don't know. We'll have to see. All I know is that Ant Edwards is going to be coming. I think he takes another step. I think he becomes someone who's like Ja, doesn't win the MVP, but is very much in the mix of the MVP conversation. And they're going to win a lot of games. They're going to be a top 6 team in the West. Moving forward, another team I absolutely love. Salivate over the New Orleans Pelicans. I am so excited about them. Maybe my favorite team to even imagine how good they could be. Yes, Zion, of course, is interesting. But I'm actually less concerned or interested in Zion because I know what he is. How is this team going to continue to improve? You have Dyson Daniels now. You have Dyson Daniels. You have Brandon Ingram. You have CJ McCollum. You have Jose Alvarado. You've got, man, just so many dudes. Jonas Valanciunas. The question also, big question mark, is how Zion and B.I. are going to coexist. They've had issues with that before. How does this change the identity of the New Orleans team that they built without Zion? Big question marks there. He has 50 million reasons to make it work, to stay in shape, to run back on defense. But I tell you what, this is a train that's moving. How did I not even say Herb Jones? Herb Jones, they're going to move with or without Zion. And it's going to be very interesting to watch. I think they could be a 2 seed this year. I think they could literally be the biggest surprise in the West. Or they could be a dumpster fire if Zion doesn't play any defense. Memphis, man, they were so good. They're so deep. They took Golden State to the brink. There were so many moments that were 50-50. Ja, of course, getting injured really hurt. Jaren Jackson being god-awful from three-point land was awful. And they still have a ton of picks. I think that they're a team that's very up and coming, but I do think they take a step back. Their wing position's very thin right now. I think they're going to try to develop Zaire Williams. I like the Grizz, but they're not going to be sneaking up on anybody. I think they are now the hunted, and they're the loudest mouth team in the NBA. So a lot of teams are going to be coming for them, and they're going to be looking to embarrass them. Losing Jaren Jackson also hurts. And I think DeAnthony Melton, who I didn't mention, is now a Sixer. I think he helps a lot. Cleveland, super interesting team. They have so much versatility. They could be kind of who Cleveland was last year before my man got hurt with the ACL, Ricky Rubio. I need to see, though, how Donovan meshes into the team, right? Can he buy into the defensive scheme? He's telling us, I can defend, I promise. It's like, well, we haven't seen it since Louisville. Like, were you just not doing it on purpose when you were at Utah? Was it just the assignments? I don't know what was happening with it, but I know that 2 small guard lineups where you've got 2 6'1", 6'2" guys with negative wingspans, I've seen that. I've seen that up and close with Portland, and it did not work. We went to the Western Conference Finals, and we got swept. That's what happened. I tell you what, it's pain. It's a lot of pain. They're going to miss Lauri Markkanen. I tell you what, I never thought I'd say that, but they're going to miss him. They have a lot more interior help than Portland. They have Mobley, obviously. They've got Jared Allen. Even Kevin Love can play some 4, even though they'll probably have him on the perimeter. But I tell you what, this team will be very fun. I think they're going to be an actual playoff team this year and not a play-in team. Moving forward with Toronto. Toronto is one of those teams that if someone takes a leap or they add someone. They could be a problem. Like if OG Anunoby turns into an all-star, this could be a real nightmare matchup for everyone. Like we've said before, it's a bunch of 6'7" to 6'9" guys who can play every single position on the floor and can do everything in the era of positionless basketball. Nick Nurse loves his lineup. They add in, obviously, on top of Scotty Barnes on the cusp of being an all-star. I think you add in Otto Porter, you add in Christian Coloco. That helps a lot with the defense. And they took a flyer on Josh Jackson, who went to Kansas, busted, just an absolute nightmare of a bust. But he has height, he has length, and he could potentially thrive as a role player in Nick Nurse's system.